What is going on, ERB sports fans? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to do an opening, but we're also going to play a game called I Want You to Imagine. Now, what might you ask is the game I Want You to Imagine? I'm just going to throw some things out there as I open this box, and you guys can let me know in the comments below whether you ever would have imagined in the hobby something like that would happen. All right, let's get into it. Hope everybody is having a great May so far in Indianapolis. May is synonymous with racing. We have the Indy 500 qualifying weekend coming up here tomorrow. Don't know when this video will go out, but try to get it out either tonight or tomorrow, early in the morning. We've got a pole day on Sunday. We've got the kind of qualifying to kind of get you down to the Fast 12 and Fast 6 and all that good stuff tomorrow, but pretty good day weather-wise tomorrow, looks like. I might try to go out to the track on Sunday. We'll have to find out. So before I open pack number one, I want you to imagine that in 2021 and 2022, during the card boom, a company by the name of Fanatics would come along and start making baseball cards and own all the licenses. Now, you might ask, great, so they're making pictures of things on cardboard and they had to acquire those licenses for a large sum of money. Now, I want you to imagine what would happen next. All right, pack number one. Now, if we get a hit, we'll save it to the side. All right. I opened a couple of these off camera. I need to go through the hits with you guys. Pulled a couple autos and some other decent stuff. Jose Miranda rookie, TJ Friedel, X-Fractor. I have yet to pull a really good X-Fractor. Other than like Stephen Kwan, Jeremy Pena, that kind of stuff. All right, Dale Murphy, Lou Bob, Travis d'Arnaud, and Charlie Blackmon. So I want you to imagine then fast forwarding a year later, and that same company, Fanatics, instead of actually making baseball cards, decided to buy one of the card companies. Now, naturally, they had some choice. So which choice did they choose? They chose Topps, which was synonymous with baseball cards, had the longest tenured history in the entire hobby. Topps was making cardboard for over 70 years. Topps, many people regard Topps as nostalgic, as, one and the same with the hobby, right? Well, where am I going with this? I want you to imagine that somehow, now that Fanatics owns Topps, they want you to believe that the same cards, the same cardboard that you've been buying for nearly 70 years is somehow going to be made more special by them having it. So what do you guys think? Are they ruining the hobby? Are they making it better? Neither? So let me know. I mean, opening packs is not something that you have to do. We all have a choice. Opening packs is fun. It can be fun, as Jim's dad said on American Pie back 20-some years ago. Alec Bohm. Ooh, that's a cool one. Mario Rivera. The GOAT. Who do we got here? Rowdy Tellez. I thought horizontal. Maybe we get... Oh, got a wave. Dang. Oh, man. And it's CJ Cron. Ugh. Oh, the agony. These are tough pulls, too. That sucks. That means we're not getting a numbered card in this box, because if you get a wave, you're pretty much getting nothing. So, but yeah, I want you to imagine that Fanatics would think that making baseball cards is so special that they can pretty much do whatever they want. And now that it's 2023, and they're really exerting their influence over the hobby, it appears they are doing just that. So then fast forward another year, and I want you to imagine that Panini, the company that we all hated, had a large quantity of their top executives and top card people go over to Fanatics. Why, you might ask? Well, maybe it's because they're panicking and they know that we got another wave. It's an insert. Well, that's crazy. Got multiple waves in the same box. Austin Meadows, Sandy Alcantara, X-Fractor each. Oh, that is a sick looking card. I like that one. Connor Siebold and Sean Manaea. I love that Ichiro. That's a cool one. Do you grade something like that? Maybe. All right, we got a wave here. Oh, actually, we got something in front of the wave. Let's do the wave. We get a Julio wave. We're going to go nuts. It was like stuck. Brendan Donovan. That's a refractor. I think that's a refractor. All right, team of the future. Atlanta. Who is that? Acuna wave. Oh, what could have been. It's been a pretty good box. All right, I want you to imagine then, once those Panini executives went over to Fanatics, we wondered what would happen next. We thought, well, maybe they just got, they got fed up with Panini. They didn't like Panini. They were going to go over to Fanatics and they were going to do all sorts of good for the hobby. They were going to start to be on the up and up because Fanatics was Darth Vader Panini was Darth Vader and Fanatics was the savior, right? This is a refractor. Yep. Brendan Donovan refractor. Cool. Do you grade something like that? I mean, I don't know. He's solid, but I really wish I could grade more out of this card order or this. I'm just not sure. He's having a great year though. So you might want to grade that because he's probably going to win MVP this year. If he was playing pretty well, that is a rookie card. I think you might consider grading that, and you might consider grading that. 3 graders and a wave. Whew, man. The only bad thing is CJ Cron, and I don't think he's very good. Yeah, I don't think he's very good. That's a bummer. Imagine if we'd have pulled the wave of Julio. Oof. All right, so I want you to imagine then, fast forward a month and a half from the Mint Collective when all these guys went over to Fanatics and you wondered what would happen next. And then some of the top products from Topps.com start to come out this year when everybody was hyped for Bowman and they're charging $600 for a hobby box. And they are trying to hype the absolute heck out of it. Got Ty France. Bo Jackson on that one. That's a cool one. Beam Team Vlad. I'm going to continue that conversation of I want you to imagine after I finish this pack because I don't want to be distracted. Vladdy, who's your daddy? I was going to say Ichiro, but Anthony Rizzo, Jerks and Profar, and last but not least, Joe Dunand. I pulled his Independence Day and he was on the Marlins. Turns out he's on the Braves. I did not know that. So you learn something new every day. All right, so I want you to imagine that now that it is 2023 and all these Panini executives have been over at Fanatics for about 3 months now, and maybe they're starting to exert some influence, but maybe they're not. Maybe this was all part of a grand plan to acquire Topps because the consumer trusted Topps, and then they hated Panini and they said, oh my gosh, Panini is the worst thing ever. And then they're like, oh, you know what? Panini is losing people left and right. See, I told you Panini sucked. Then they all go over to Darth Vader now and they're going to join the evil empire of Fanatics because they really don't have a choice. And then Fanatics chooses to do exactly what Panini did with Bowman Sapphire and start doing Dutch auctions. And that leads us to today. Because today was the Dutch auction for Bowman Sapphire. Starting out at $850, ending at $350. I predicted it would sell out at $475. I was wrong. It actually sold out what looks like $375. So We all could have had a box for near the floor price if we wanted to, a box or 10. But that's still darn expensive, guys. And trust me, if we as a collective hobby group want to continue to see more emergence of Panini-like behavior in Fanatics, do exactly what you did back in 2020 and 2021, and Fanatics will be very, very happy. Now, I'm hoping that we're smarter than that. I'm hoping that these last 3 years have taught people something in the hobby. I'm hoping that you can still have fun occasionally opening lower end products like this for $25, and we don't see them print this to the absolute moon, care less about quality control. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. We played a game called I Want You to Imagine. It was a little corny, but everything that we didn't want to happen has started to happen in front of our very own eyes. And what are we going to do about it, guys? What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to let it continue? Or are we going to change our behaviors? I myself am going to try to open less product than I had been. I'm trying to target specific products. Now, I would have gone out after Bowman Sapphire if it was $200 a box. I think we all would have. That would have been a great deal. At $375, I stayed away. Now, that could prove to be a mistake. There are other products that I wanted to go a little bit more heavy on this year, and I think Fanatics knows that. And they're already planning with the Panini executives they've acquired on how to extract more money out of the consumers' pockets than they did last year. Because last year, when the hobby saw a major pullback in terms of the actual overall pricing for sealed product, for secondary market product, for singles, it just kind of begs the question, like, what do we think is going to happen next? I, for one, would not want to see Fanatics turn into Panini 2.0. I think we all would not want to see that. I also think that we don't want to see the Topps brand be taken down just to make a buck. We hope that that's not the case. Now, they did print less of the product, so they do clearly care somewhat about the scarcity of the product, but they are proving to be greedy capitalists like any other business that pays that amount of money for all those licenses several years ago. And it's only going to get worse, guys. Once they start making basketball products, and I don't have any football product in front of me, but once they start making those products, you ain't seen nothing yet. This was on a baseball product that's a higher end baseball product. We have not seen anything yet. Trust me, the moment they start making basketball and they have the same version of some scarce basketball product of Sapphire, it's not going to be $850 a box for 32 cards. It's going to be $1,850 for 32 cards. Trust me on that. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. So here's what I would suggest doing. Be very, very skeptical moving forward. Not that you already aren't. A lot of my viewers are skeptical, and I read all the comments. I love all you guys out there. But what you're going to have to do is pivot in some cases if you want to stay in the hobby. Now, I'd love to stay in the hobby. It's a ton of fun. I go to card shows. I get to hang out with friends on YouTube. Get to do a show with my friend Brett every week, who I only met through YouTube and cards, which is very, very interesting that you make friends that way. Now, I'm sure if Brett watched this video, he would say, I don't even know who John is. He just still refers to me as ERB Sports. Well, yeah, I'm ERB Sports on YouTube, but I'm also a person that likes to share the hobby with others. So anyway, guys, I know I'm rambling. So I want you to imagine what happens next now that we've seen Dutch auctions for the first time on the Topps website today for Bowman Sapphire? What's next? What's going to disappoint us next? I want you to imagine that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think is coming next that will disappoint everybody, and how are you going to react to it. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. If you're in the Indianapolis area over the next 2 weeks, go out and check out the Indy 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I can promise you, you'll have an amazing time. And take care, everybody. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.